Hello my beautiful friends and welcome back to another video. I hope you've been keeping so very well. Today I'm going to share what I eat in a day with you and share some really delicious plant-based meal ideas for you to be able to try out at home. As well as that, I am finally going to do a little bit of a tour, I suppose. I'm going to basically show you some things in my kitchen, like appliances and utensils and things like that, that I have from specific places that I really like and add value to my kitchen, and that I recommend if you are someone who is looking to add some new things to your kitchen. Anyway, first things first, and let's get into breakfast for the morning. This morning I'm gonna make these really delicious green beans on toast. They're one of my favorite breakfasts at the moment. They're something you can make fresh or something that you can meal prep in a big batch and just heat up to have on toast in the morning. They're really, really good. Let's get into making them. So the first things we're gonna start with are some onion, some garlic, leek, and some zucchini. And I'm going to start by frying all of this up. There are a couple of ways that you can make this dish, which I'll explain once I get into it. But basically you can kind of blend everything if you don't wanna have like chunks of leek and zucchini, or you can just leave it all and fry it up with the beans. I'm personally gonna leave it all because I don't mind all of the chunks and everything like that, but yeah, if you prefer to have it all blended, you definitely can do that as well. I think I'm gonna make enough to serve 2, and I'm gonna keep the leftovers for my breakfast tomorrow. So I'm gonna use pretty much this entire leek. And with leek, you need to make sure that you wash it. Oh, as you may be able to see, all in there is like all gross. So with leek, I usually cut it up and then I give it a good wash. Okay, and then with the zucchini, because I'm not blending it, I'm gonna cut it pretty fine. Also, this is quite a big zucchini. But yeah, I'm gonna try and like dice it. Starting with a little bit of olive oil, and then adding in, adding in the onion and the garlic and the leek and zucchini. So whilst that continues to fry up, I'm going to blend in my little food processor some spinach. And then I'm also going to use this plant-based cream, which this has become a staple for me and something that I'm getting like every week in my grocery shop. It is really, really good and great in making like creamy pastas or creamy sauces in general. I feel like I need to try it in a sweet recipe because it'll probably be really, really good. Quickly noting as well, this is the part where you would add in the zucchini and leek and onion and garlic if you wanted to be blending all of it together. So I basically just keep cooking and reducing these beans and veggies down until it gets nice and thick and just kind of to the texture that I want it to be at, basically. And then of course I'm going to add in some salt and some pepper to taste. You can also add veggie stock powder if you feel like you want it to have a bit stronger of a flavor. All right, let's leave that to simmer and get our bread ready. All right, this is the only sourdough I have left right now. But you know, we're using the last of the loaf. Just so funny, you can see how crookedly we've cut it over the week. How many pieces do I want? Do I just want one thick piece? That might be easier. Sweet one. Sweet pearly lady. I want to say a big thank you to my friends at Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. If you're ever on the lookout for an all-in-one platform to be able to host and design your own website and market your business, Squarespace is definitely the place to go. I've been using Squarespace for 3 years now, and I've felt the benefits of doing so in many different ways. First of all, I have found it really easy to be able to share recipes, and I love to be able to have a place for people to go back and find some new vegan recipes to try out or to see some of their old favorites. Squarespace also makes it super easy to be able to sell your own products, and I personally have been able to sell my ebook through my website, which has been such a seamless experience. And as well as that, I can link all of my social media in one place, which is very beneficial for people who might be new to my content and want to see different types of content from different platforms. If you're ever looking to host or design your own website, I 100% recommend checking out Squarespace. I recommend it to my family and friends all of the time. You can go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, you can go to squarespace.com/AmandaDux and use my code, which is AmandaDux. That gets you 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. Thank you so much to Squarespace for supporting this video. Oh, nailed it. Okay, so for lunch today, I started by rinsing and draining some chickpeas, and then I transferred them into a bowl and coated them with some olive oil, as well as some garlic powder and some onion powder and some veggie stock powder, one of my favorite combos. And yeah, I just tossed this all together to get them nice and evenly coated, and then transferred them into a frying pan to get them nice and crispy. I'm just going to leave those to fry up while I prep the rest of my lunch, which is going to be a delicious chickpea salad. I start by cutting up some cos lettuce, as well as some red onion and some cherry tomatoes as well. Then I also cut up some cucumber. These are like my favorite fresh veggies to have in a salad. And then I made the dressing, which was some vegan mayo, some Dijon mustard, some lemon juice, and some water to thin it out. And I just shake this all up until I get a nice creamy dressing. Then into my salad bowl, I put the lettuce and the onion, tomatoes, cucumber, as well as that creamy dressing. And then I add in some coconut bacon, as well as some cashew parmesan. And I toss this all together. Then I realized I didn't add in any of my chickpeas, so I put some of the crispy chickpeas in and continued tossing it together, and then transferred this into my serving bowl. Once it was in the serving bowl, I then added on some more cashew parmesan and coconut bacon. These are products that I like to treat myself to when I have the room in my grocery budget, and I'm very glad that I did this week. I put them on top of the salad with the last of the crispy chickpeas, and this was my delicious lunch, and I've been eating this salad so much lately. It is absolutely divine. You know that I love an afternoon sweetie treaty, and when it gets to like 2 or 3 p.m, that's when I feel like I need to make myself a sweetie treat. So I melted some chocolate over the heat, and I washed some strawberries and then cut them up. I think I used like half a punnet of strawberries here, and then my chocolate gets nice and silky and smooth, which we absolutely love to see. I just put these strawberries into a bowl, and then I drizzle the chocolate all over this. This is my favorite sweet treat right now. It's literally so easy, and yeah, honestly, it just makes me so happy. I love it so much. Okay, so this afternoon, I really wanted to take a moment to go through a bunch of stuff that I have in my kitchen. I've had a lot of questions over like the past year about where specific things are from, and questions about what I use them for, and so I just wanted to cover it in a video so that you can come back to it if you're ever curious about where things are from. I really want to note a couple of things before we get into the video. The first one being that I do food blogging for a living, and I work from my kitchen like 3 out of 5 days a week. Cooking is a huge part of my life. I have a lot more than I think the average person needs, and I really just encourage you to keep that in mind when viewing all of the stuff that I have. A lot of it benefits me as someone who is a massive foodie, but I definitely don't think that everyone needs to have all of this stuff. in order to have a functional kitchen. As well as that, I wanted to note that I am definitely not going to cover everything that I have in my kitchen. There are so many utensils and so many things that I have accumulated over the years that I don't actually know where a lot of stuff has come from in the first place. I'm mainly going to cover the big things and the things that I get the most questions about, so hopefully that will be helpful. I know one thing that I get a lot of questions about is the crockery that I have, like the plates and bowls, and I will say that all of that is also from random places and I don't even remember where everything is from. I would say about 1/3 of my crockery is from a website called Made in Japan. I definitely recommend that if you are looking for some nice crockery to use, especially for food styling, but the rest of it, if I'm being completely honest, I can't remember where it's from. First things first, let's cover where my reusables are from, like my keep cups that I use. I have one for hot drinks and one for ice drinks. This glass one is from the Wholesome store. I honestly probably use this every day because if I'm not drinking cacao out of it, I'm drinking water or juice or something else out of it, because as well as that, like obviously the lid comes off, and yeah, I use it as a glass as well. And then I also have my ceramic keep cup, which is from Pottery for the Planet, and I use this when I'm going out to get myself a hot cacao in the mornings. And yeah, I also drink out of it and make cacao in it at home as well, just because I like drinking out of it, basically. Speaking of the Wholesome store, let's get into the rest of the Wholesome store stuff that I have. So I have a cheese knife set, which I use basically whenever I'm having like a vegan cheese board night or day or whatever. I actually think I'm going to make a vegan cheese board this weekend, so I'll probably whip these out. And then I also have some cutlery. You'll probably notice that the fork is missing from this set. I somehow misplaced it, either in my move or maybe I took it with me somewhere one day. I don't know. I'm devastated because it was like my favorite fork, but I love these for food styling and I just love them in general. They are very gorgeous. And then from the Wholesome store, I also have these salad servers, which I got fairly recently. They are super, super gorgeous. I love the orange on them. And once again, these are really good for food styling, and the Wholesome store in general is a great place to get cutlery in particular that is good for food styling. Whilst we're on cutlery, let's go through my knives, because these are one of the things I probably get the most questions about, and I have 5 main knives that I use the most. Let's start with the 3 that are sort of set in a way. So you've probably seen me use these 3 in my videos. These are from a brand called Santoku. I will leave them linked down below. I probably use this one the most because I use it when I am cutting up veggies, or if I'm like doing tofu or anything like that. This tends to be my go-to, but I also use these 2 a lot when I'm cutting like fresh fruit and stuff like that up as well. And I do in particular use this one a lot. I'm kind of being rogue with how I'm holding these knives right now. Another knife I have, which I was gifted by a few friends for my birthday last year, and it is so gorgeous, this knife. This one is from Lady Made Blades. It's a small business based in Tasmania, I'm pretty sure, and this knife is kind of like my everyday kind of knife that I use. All right, moving on to my cookware, and you might already know that it's from Cosmic Cookware because I do talk about Cosmic Cookware and I use it in all of my videos basically. This is all of my cookware from Cosmic Cookware. So I have a saucepan. This is one of the ones that I use probably the most regularly, and I use it for boiling pasta, veggies, noodles, also melting stuff over the top of it, which I did with my strawberries and chocolate today. Yeah, I use this one pretty frequently. I also have this big pot, which I use when I'm cooking pasta or noodles or potatoes or anything like that for a bigger group of people, or if I am doing meal prep. This is a frying pan that has the higher edges, so it's good for making like curries and stuff like that, but I also use it as like an everyday frying pan because it is a smaller size, so it's good if I'm just cooking for myself or even just cooking for 2. Then I have another frying pan that has like lower walls and it kind of like slides in more, if that makes sense, and this one's good for like making pancakes and crepes and things like that in it, just because it's easier to slide things out. And once again, it's a good size for cooking for a few people. Then I also have the Cosmo Wok, which I have been using so much since I got it. It's great for Asian cooking. It's also just great for cooking in general. Because of the high sides, I find that it just holds a lot in there. So I use this one, yeah, probably like every day at the moment. And then we have the biggest one, which is once again a frying pan with the high walls. I use this one when I'm doing a bulk amount of meal prep, and I also use it when I'm cooking for a lot of people. And yeah, I do use this one as well. I honestly use all of these pans. I find use for all of them because of all the different recipes and everything like that. And I genuinely really appreciate Cosmic Cookware and just like the quality of the cookware. You've probably seen me talk about how much I love this thing in other videos, because I got this actually as a part of a brand deal that I did on Instagram probably like, I'm gonna say 6 months ago, and I use it so often. This, I think the cost price of it is about 90 Australian dollars, but what it comes with is, so it's got like this, which is completely separate, and this plugs in to the wall, but then it comes with a few different compartments. So it comes with this, which is like a mini food processor, which I use the most frequently. I'm actually just about to use it to make my dinner. And then it also comes with a whisk on the end, and it also comes with a stick blender for if you want to blend soup. And I feel like for 90 Australian dollars, that is honestly a bargain. The brand is NutriBullet, so I'll try and find it and link it down below. But yeah, I mean, you've probably seen me talk about this so many times. It's literally so good. Next, I also have my air fryer. This is by the brand Philips, and to be honest, my boyfriend uses this like every single day. I don't use it as much just because I'm filming so much and filming a lot of recipes that tend to not be air fryer recipes. However, we do get a lot of use out of this, especially when you don't want to turn the oven on or you want something done quicker. It's more on the smaller side for an air fryer, I believe, but it's perfect for us in a 2-person household. And yeah, we really love it. Definitely recommend. I never thought that I'd want an air fryer, but now that we have one, I see why people love them so much. I also have a VideoMic, which I have had my VideoMic for like 1.5 years, and before that I had an older version that I had honestly for probably like, I'm gonna say 4 years as a guess. I currently don't have a jug for my VideoMic because I was having issues with it, but I actually was so impressed with the customer service because I emailed them about it, and they're sending me a new one, which hasn't arrived yet, but should arrive very soon. And honestly, I just love my VideoMic. I love being able to blend up like a bulk sauce or blend up a soup in there. It is super easy. And as well as that, I just love, you know, having smoothies, especially in the summer, and smoothie bowls. And for me, the VideoMic is definitely the way to do it. And then the last thing I want to mention, which is kind of rogue because I literally don't even remember where I got this from. I recently got myself just like a good glass, decent sized mixing bowl. And let me tell you, this thing gets a workout. I use it so much. And I think to myself, I used to be like, oh, I don't have a big enough thing to like toss a salad in or to do baking in without it spilling out everywhere and all that kind of stuff. And I would have got this bowl for like $10 or something like that. And it has added so much value to my cooking and just making it so much easier and more enjoyable. So if you're looking at all this stuff and going like, I really want to get something that can add value to my cooking, and you don't have a good decent sized mixing bowl / salad bowl, honestly, this would be one of my first investments. I definitely recommend it. Anyway, I hope that answered some questions. As always, if you have anything that you specifically want to know where it's from, or if you want any recommendations for a specific thing that you would like to invest in, definitely feel free to message me. I will give you the best advice that I can. And yeah, I'm gonna tidy all of this up now, and then I'm gonna get into making dinner. Tonight for dinner, I am going to make some crispy tofu tacos, but when I'm making the tofu, what I'm actually gonna do is do like a bulk amount of crispy tofu so that I have it in the fridge ready to go for the week. This is actually one of the things I've been doing a lot with my cooking lately. You may have been able to tell with the green beans as well, but making more so that I don't have to like cook and put a huge amount of effort into every single meal. My boyfriend and I will be able to have more crispy tofu tacos for dinner throughout the week, which is very beneficial having the tofu ready to go. Anyway, I'll put this away. I'll get the tofu ready. We'll make dinner. It's gonna be delish. Okay, so that is going to bring us to the end of today's video. I'm so excited to dig into the rest of these tacos for dinner tonight. They seriously taste so good. As always, a big thank you for being here and watching and supporting my channel. It means the world to me, so thank you so much. I hope you got at least one new meal idea to try out at home, and as always, I hope you have a beautiful day. I will be back next week with another video and look forward to seeing you then. Bye!